morning, students. Today we are starting the second chapter, that is fundamental concepts of sociology. Here the first topic is society and individual. So what is society? Society is a collection of people living together. Okay, individual is a single person. So man is a social animal. This is a concept that you will keep hearing in your life because you are all medical sociologists. Man is a social animal means man cannot live alone. He is always living in a society. Very few people live alone, but they do not have normal lives. People who are very religious, they live alone. They do not live in groups. But that is not a normal person. That is different person. So in normal life, a person does not live alone. He lives in a group. The basic group in which a person lives is the family, and many families together form the community. So like that, humans cannot live alone, but they are programmed to live in a society. Okay, so when they live together, there is a relationship between people, between families, between communities, and then that forms the society. So Vellore, people living in Vellore form a society. Okay, and people living in Vellore also have a culture. Vellore people, they have a different culture. Same way, if you go to Kerala, the people living there, they have a society and they have a different culture. Like that, each state, each country has different societies and different cultures, and each of these groups also have norms. Okay, what is a norm? Norm means rules and regulations. Each society forms their own rules and regulations. In Vellore there are certain rules and regulations. If you go to Kerala, there will be different rules. If you go to North India, there will be different rules. In another country, there will be different rules. People in India drive on the left side of the road. People in other countries drive on the right side of the road. So each country will have its own rules. They are called as norms. Okay, so when people are living in a society, then there is a reason for that, because they benefit from each other. Okay, if you live all alone, suppose you become sick, who will help you? Nobody will be there to help you. So when people live in society, in a group, there are rules and regulations that they have to follow, but at the same time they form groups because they help each other. Okay, so there are two theories for this reason for people living together. The first one is called the social contract theory. Okay, what is contract in Tamil? Contract means oppandam. Okay, there is a contract between people. So there are three people who talked about this social contract theory. One person is called Thomas Hobbes, the other one is John Locke, and the third one is Rousseau. So let's see what Thomas Hobbes tells about the social contract theory. So Thomas Hobbes tells that initially, that is thousands of years back, when men started living in this world, how did they live? They lived in nature, in freedom. They lived without any relationship with each other. But slowly they realized that they needed protection. From who did they need protection? From each other, because they started fighting. So they needed protection from each other. They also needed protection from the nature, from storms, from floods, from earthquakes. So when they realized that if they live together, they will have benefits, they started creating a contract for a society. Okay, this is explained by Hobbes in his book called Leviathan. So these people started making a social contract so that they will have much more problem-free life. Okay, so they started making an agreement. Agreement means two people sign an agreement. So that is a contract. So what happened? The people told each other that some of them among the group will rule the other people. Okay, initially men were living all by themselves. Then slowly, because there were problems, they made a leader, and the leader started ruling the people. This is how the social contract theory came as per Thomas Hobbes. It is just a simple example. In your own class, there are 15 of you. Sometimes you will start fighting. So to prevent that fight, your teacher keeps a class rep or a head, so that there is no problem within the class. So that is how people started making the social contract theory as per Thomas Hobbes. So now let us see what John Locke told about the social contract theory. He told that people were all free without any rules and regulations in the early days. And when they did not have any rules and regulations and they were all free, there was peace. There was no war among them, and there was no law. Okay. Then slowly, when more people came together, there were fights, there was corruption. Then people were afraid of each other because of these fights. So what happened? Some of these people decided, if this goes on, then each of the people in the community will start fighting with each other and they will kill each other. So some of the people had to surrender their rights. So they had to give up their rights. Okay, so that all of them will be protected. So some people were given the responsibility of protecting all the other people. Suppose, for example, your batch or your family has a fight with your neighboring family. Who comes and makes peace? The police has to come and make peace between your family and the neighbor family. Okay, similarly, in the society, when people started fighting, some of the people had to remain under the other people who were having authority. So this was the social contract, and slowly the people who were in authority came to be called as the government. Okay, so now let us see what Jacques Rousseau, who was a French writer, told about the social contract theory. He wrote a book called The Social Contract, where he told that ancient people were living a life of simplicity and happiness. There was no fighting, they were all happy, they were all simple. And when they were living like this, they were independent. Okay, they were healthy, they were fearless, and they were good. But slowly, as the population increased, these people started fighting with each other. And when they started fighting with each other, they were not innocent, they started fearing each other. From good people they became bad people, and from independent people they became dependent people. Slowly they said, this is mine, this is yours. So whenever people have selfishness, then more problems will start. So because of the increase in population, people became selfish and there were fights. So to prevent this, the people gave a civil freedom. Okay, till then they had natural freedom. Natural freedom means there is no law, they were 100% free. But civil freedom means there is a rules and regulations within the society, and all the people in the society have to follow that. So natural freedom became civil freedom because of the social contract that all the members of the society made. So all the three above people, Jacques Rousseau, John Locke, and Thomas Hobbes, they all tell about similar things in the social contract theory. Okay, but there were some criticisms of the social contract theory. So let us see what are the criticisms. The first criticism is there is no proof that a social contract was made between people. Okay, so what the theory says is a contract was made between the groups of people to make peace with each other, so that there is a leader and there are other people who follow the leader. But the criticism says there was no proof that a contract or agreement was made between people. They just started living like that and there was no contract made. So that is one criticism. Okay, so the second criticism is that even the primitive people lived in some form of society. Okay, so what the social contract theory says is initially they were individuals and slowly they became a society and they made a contract with each other to live in a society. But what the criticism says is primitive people also lived in form of society. They were never alone. They were not living alone even in the early ages. That is the second criticism. The third criticism is there are always two parties who make a contract with each other. I already told you contract means oppandam, that is two people sign an agreement. But here there were only people living with each other, so there were no two different groups to sign a contract. So that is a third criticism. The fourth criticism is those days itself, according to the criticism, that people were fighting with each other and they were more communal with each other and there was no need for a contract. So these are the four criticisms of social contract theory. Okay, so that does not mean social contract theory did not exist, but few sociologists told how society was formed was through the social contract theory. Other people told that is not the way society was formed. There are other ways in which society was formed. So what are the other ways? That brings us to the organismic theory of society. Okay, in simple words, it is organismic means like an organism. You would have studied in your 12th biology about organisms. What are the organisms? Bacteria is an organism, virus is an organism. Okay, so people like Plato, Aristotle, Herbert Spencer were some of the people who told about the organismic theory of society. So let us see what is an organismic theory of society. According to these people who told about organismic theory, the society is like a living organism. Okay, so living organism like a human body, for example. So a human body has many parts and each part does its own function and together it forms the human body. So same way they told society is formed of different groups of people, different kinds of people. Each group does their own work and finally all of them put together is like a society. Just like a human body which consists of different parts doing different work, the society also contains different people doing different kinds of work. Together they form the society. So let us see what are the similarities between a society and organism as per the organismic theory. Okay, so I already told you that there are simple organisms, complex organisms. So what is a simple organism? A bacteria and a virus are simple organisms. They are single cell organism. A complex organism is like a human body or an animal body. There are many cells. There are many organs. They all do different functions. So same like that, some societies are simple. They have minimal. Like for example, even today in Africa, people live in the wild. They do not have houses, they do not wear clothes, they do not make food, they just go, they hunt, they eat and then they live. Whereas in a society like India or America, we go to work, then we buy food, then we cook the food, then we eat the food. So it becomes a complex society. So that is a difference between a simple society and a complex society. Okay, so let us see how society and organism are similar. The first point says society and an organism grows or develops gradually. Okay, like for example, even a human being, when before you were formed, you were a single cell. Then the single cell became two cells and became multiple cells, and a human being was born, and human being became older. So same way like that, society consisted of one or two people, then they multiplied and became a society. So that is how an organism and society are similar. The next thing says organism and society begin from germs or single cells. Okay, then organism and society have different structural functions. For example, your hand has a different function, your leg has a different function, your eye has a different function. Same way, the society also, each part of the society has a different function. Then the next point says both our society and organism are composed of units. Okay, just like your hands, eyes, ears, legs, everything together form the organism. The society also comprises of different groups of people. Okay, and then again the similarity between organism and society is just like the organism, your hand is dependent on your body, your leg is dependent on your body, your nose is dependent on your body. Each of them depend on each other. You cannot live without a hand, you cannot live without a leg. It is very difficult. Same way in the society, all the members of the society depend on each other and they have a interdependence. Okay, so that is the similarity between a organism and society. So people said that is how the society was formed. So Spencer told a little differently. He told about three systems which corresponded to the organism and society. So instead of telling hand, eye, ear, nose, like different things, he told only there are three things. One is the sustaining system, second is the distributory system, third is the regulatory system in the organism. So what is a sustaining system? So the sustaining system consists of the mouth, stomach, intestine. It's like the digestive system. So only when you eat food you will be able to live. So the food which you eat sustains you. Okay, so that is in the human body or an organism. Same way in the society, the sustaining system are the people who produce the food, the people who are farmers, people who work in factories and workshops. These are people who are the sustaining people of the society. Okay, next what he told was the distributory system. In the human body, what is the distributory system? The arteries, blood vessel, heart, they carry blood through the different parts of the body, and the veins bring blood from different parts of the body to the heart. So just like that, in the society, the food that is created is being spread across the world by some people. Who are they? They are the railway people, the ship people, wholesale people, retail people. So they are the people who communicate with the other people. Even the telegraph, postal service, road network. So all these are the distributory system which help in spreading the food that is produced by the sustaining system. Finally, he told that the other system was the regulating system. So in the human body, what is the regulating system? Your brain, your nerves, your muscles, they are the regulating system. They do the movements of the body. So same way, the government is the regulatory system of the society. And there are other professional people like doctors, lawyers, engineers, who are all thinking and doing work. They form the regulating system of the human society. Okay, hope you understood this topic. This orgasmic theory, they compare it between the human body or organism to the society. Okay, so there are three different systems: the sustaining system, distributory system, and the regulating system. Okay, hope you understood this. Then let us see how people told that the society passes through this organismic theory. Okay, the first thing is, the society, just like a human organism, develops in a slow way. Slowly it develops, then it matures, and then declines. So like that, every society, you would have studied in history about the Indus Valley civilization, Harappan civilization. So in those civilizations there was development, then it became mature, and then slowly it declined. So like that, the society will keep changing. Just like the human body, when a person is born, they grow up, become mature, and then finally they die. Like that, the society also develops, matures, and declines. Okay, and both the society and organism begin from the germs. They form from the smallest organism or single organism, and then society and organism exhibit different functions. Both the organism and society have different functions. Each part of the body has different functions. Same way, each person or member of the society has different work. Okay, just like the human body, which is made of different units or organs like kidney, heart, liver, same way society composed of different people who do different work. Finally, the society lives in close integration or interdependence of each other. So just like every part of your body depends on the other parts of the body, every member of the society depends on the other member of the society. For example, can you come to the college if there is no bus? Like in the coronavirus lockdown, there are no public transport. Then how will you come? You will have to take a bike. Suppose nobody is there to create a bike, there is no mechanic shop, then how will you use the bike? So like that, every person in the society is dependent on each other. So that is the uh, just like the society, the human body is also dependent on every other part of the body. So same way society is there. So the next topic we'll see is this relationship between the individual and society. We already studied that every person in the society depend on each other. One person cannot live alone. They have to live as a society, and all of them should have relationship between each other. So this relationship or the interrelationship between individual and society will be the next topic which we will see tomorrow. Thank you.